Every time you get me ground pounder. Oh. What's going on, Chris? How we doing? See if I can kind of see you guys a little better here. Well, I have to lean up. Or I can just relax. Oh, we cut Chainsaw Man out? He's got to be in it. Dude's always working. I had chainsaws for arms too. There ain't a whole lot else you could do. And like you're going on a date. End up in prison cutting someone's head off. He's still barely in there, but he's getting her done. Deer are my mythical creatures at this point. That's funny. I dig it. Just come out. Really? I've done that before and it's refreshed, but I'm just now I'm dealing with phone issues just in general. My phone is in really really bad shape, so yeah, it's completely busted apart. So I'm really surprised you guys can see it at this point. So there's like cracks everywhere all around the actual like camera on it. There's one that goes almost right through it, but so far so good. It doesn't really show up in the camera view. So oh, OCD is killing me there. It was a little cockeyed. I'm doing good, bud. I'm just hanging in there. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers with the next video. Yeah, the next video that comes out, because I just tell the truth about tree climbing. So that'll be it's done. I tried to export it and had trouble before this, so I didn't mess with it. But it's coming out like I'll maybe have it out tomorrow. So you guys, tell me what you think of it. So James, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? How are we? We're just gonna write some tickets. You know, do some citations. We may throw somebody in the back of the car, completely book them, put them in jail. You know how it is, man. Right on, ground. All right, so I have quite a bit of new stuff. If I need more, last week we left a bunch of stuff that I didn't even get into because I was trying to be nice. And then, first of all, I write myself. I get it's a self citation. Like I gotta write myself a ticket for boohooing on YouTube about not liking how many views my video gets. That was lame, but it was just the truth at the time. But like I think of it, and I'm like, that's kind of lame, dude. So take it first thing on myself that I can't do that. But at the same time, I don't know how I would have told you guys that, and I was just in the mood. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So Yeah, James, you're good, brother. We just started. We literally just started. I haven't even read the first. I haven't even gotten the first thing here. So, yeah, you're definitely in time this time. You didn't miss anything. So it was a it was an eventful week. We just didn't get our normal characters, which kind of a bummer because that's where a lot of the content comes from. But I did a live feed, and the last one I told you guys that we're gonna. I'm infatuated and like fascinated with this race for charity where they're gonna race chain speed. Only thing I really knew is that that was happening. Is this there's been, you know, a challenge made by this person to this person, and they're gonna get together and they're gonna race chainsaws and see who's is doing, who's is the best. And I dig that. I think that's awesome. So that's all I knew at that point. So in my head at that point, they're both even. One of the people is Fabs Acres, and the other one is a guy from like a forum. He does he does forum stuff like a chainsaw forum, and apparently it must be kind of big because like Steve was very offended by it, Metal and Wood guy, and apparently Fabs and him are good buddies. So I don't know. I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know before, and I'm just like, huh, that's uh, that's interesting. I don't know, but a bar swinging contest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Whose bar is bigger? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna get into that, but I need to kind of ease my way into this so I can get in full like officer mode before I get to the serious stuff. So we started the week, we'll start this week in news. This is episode 38, by the way. Um, Getting close to a solid year again of doing these. So it's been fun, and this is probably my funnest thing I do as far as YouTube anymore. So I really enjoy this. So this week, Jeff Schroeder put out a video. We all like Jeff. I think Jeff is the man. So we're starting this. It's maybe who has a bigger bore? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I know Steve's got a big bore. He made sure they put a sticker that said it. So I don't know how you could have bigger than that when yours is so big you had a sticker made. So I'll be over here in Idaho minding my own business. Right on, Chris. That's the safest way, brother. So who can blow the most hot air out? Yeah, yeah, I think that is what is happening as of right now. That's all I'm getting from the whole situation. But let's see. Jeff puts out a video. Um, he may have put out two. Maybe I missed one of them. But the video was called "You Won't Believe What Happens Next." Biggest top sent on YouTube. So I don't know if Jeff watches the live feeds constantly. So I'm hoping maybe he does, and he can. You guys tell me what you think, because this is something I'm gonna get into, and Jeff is dealing with it right now, and I just thought maybe I could give my 2 cents on it, and maybe it would help him decide what he's doing. But right on, you're funny. So Jeff has memberships and on his channel. So I don't know, like exactly. I think it may be like $8 is what you pay as a member. You pay each month, and you become a member on that channel. That's I'm gonna start that. I think at the beginning of the year, and it's just a thing that I'm gonna give you my opinion on that and kind of what mine will be, and then I'm kind of curious how everybody feels about it, but Jeff's been starting it, and he says he wants to build the memberships up, and he says so. If you can do it, do it. I'm trying to build it up, but he makes it clear his membership. is not going to affect his channel at all. Because some guy left a comment, and the guy said, memberships equal goodbye. And Jeff seemed bummed, like he unsubscribed. Um, and he couldn't believe like the guy would unsubscribe just because he started membership. So he made it very clear, like, no. Okay, you're not gonna. I'm not gonna change nothing. It's not gonna affect the channel. So what his members and his membership thing get, they get the video 1 day early, and that's really all they get. Um, and he said he may do a live on that, but if he does a live on that, he's gonna do one on his regular one. And he's like, I just want to make it clear, I'm not going to cater to anyone. Peter, what's going on, brother? So I feel opposite. Like, I feel a lot more, I feel different about that. I'm going to start my membership things at the beginning of the year, hopefully. And if you can do it, cool. If you can't, it's not going to change anything as far as what I do on this one. So, but there will be extra content, extra videos, and I'm going to cater to them. And I think you should. If somebody's going to go out of their way and give you $8 a month, getting the video 1 day early isn't, I feel like that's not enough. Like, I want to show that if you gave $1, like, I'm going to try to keep mine even lower. Maybe if it'd go like $4 or $5, something like that. And if people want to do it, cool. If they don't, awesome. But you get some extra content, and I think I want to move these tree talks. I used to do a lot of tips and tricks and stuff like that, but I kind of want to focus that into a memberships area. So, and I want to keep the price down for those people that, can't really afford it. So that's just my opinion on what he's dealing with. And Jeff is going to do what he's going to do with his, but no, Jeff's trying to build his memberships up over there. If you guys feel like you want to do it, he has it set up already. And yeah, he says that he's basically going to do the same thing for each. So I don't know. If I was Jeff, I would cater to those people that are offering to pay you money every month to support you. That means a lot. Like, I don't know. I'm not doing it, so I don't really know how I'm gonna do it exactly. I want to kind of just, I'm making the change with the content right now, and then I'll figure that out as I get to it. I'm just not stressing on nothing. But I seen him talking about it in his video. That's what his video was about. So I figured we would kind of talk about that real quick. But in that video, Jeff did take a monster top out of a pine. And it was pretty gnarly. He was doing some big rigging. Irfan, what's going on? Irfan, your comment threw me off there. Okay, right on. Okay, so yeah, I took a pretty big top. So go check Jeff's channel out. Here's a Jeff Schroeder axe right now that I put a wrap on. So it's kind of slipped back down. But yeah, I need to rewrap it. Yeah, Jeff sent me this axe. Jeff makes really good axes. He sells them. So you can check Jeff's channel out. That's Schroeder. I think it's spelled Schroeder. And the channel is Jeff Schroeder. So then I tried to do something different. I'm like, I'm not always going to do the same thing when I go onto the channel. I kind of want to throw in some new channels that I talk about. So I've seen it. I've never watched it. I've always just kind of knew that I would hate it. And that is Chickanic. This is a woman who works on chainsaws. I'm sure most of you have seen her channel. You had to have seen her stuff. Some of the things she says, or you know what, I don't even know if it's some of the things she says. It's just I've seen some thumbnails that I kind of disagree with her being like, never use this or this is trash. And like, I don't know. Like, I expected to hate it and I was looking for content for this. So, good God, I was not gonna. Okay. So I check on it, I click on it, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch one of her videos for once, and like I'll give my opinion. And so you've seen it too? You've seen her? Yeah, she has a pretty big channel, I think, man. Been a long time since I've watched anything, and I'm like, I am gonna hate on this. I, there's just no doubt about it. I'm gonna see some of the dumbest stuff. I have YouTube shorts when I scroll, and there'll be random videos where like a chick will be like bent over starting a chainsaw with her cleavage out, trying to start it, and like some of the shorts go for 60 seconds and they don't even get the saw started. And I'm like, come on now. I'm gonna watch it because I'm a I'm a normal guy. Like you have to research purposes, especially for this, I have to. Um, but I'm like, I'm gonna hate this. This is yeah, I'm about to burn like everything I see here. It's gonna be just hilarious. And I was wrong. I was wrong. Joseph, yeah, I like her. I subscribed. Like she instantly, it didn't take but a couple minutes, and she won me over. She walked outside and she had a pile of small engines. Every kind of chainsaw, blower, weed eater you could, all in a pile. I, I'm like, I'm started to be attracted to her instantly. I'm like, oh, she's kind of pretty too. Instantly. Then she started a 460, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you have my full respect now. And then, then that, tied into something else. As I watched that video, that, led, what's going on, Dan? It led over here. What's going on, Peter? Her husband is a good mechanic, too? Really? That is awesome. Yeah, and she's very pretty, too. And she's just very down to earth. And just, she seems like she's probably got a pretty good sense of humor. Doesn't take everything so serious. And I seen the way she started us all. And I'm like, holy cow. John Bob, we're talking about Chickanic. It's a YouTube channel where there's a woman who fixes chainsaws. Um, the video she put out, and Chickanic is spelled Chickanic, like mechanic, but as a chickanic. Yeah. So the video was called "Customer Needs It Yesterday," 72cc 460. And the guy ended up breaking off the needle for the tensioner at some point, and maybe bent some stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say, Peter, it's probably pretty hard if you watch chainsaw stuff, man. It's almost pretty hard to have not seen her stuff. She's pretty good. And I just, as a jerk, I'm like, I'm not gonna like this, but it'll give me something to talk about. And I had to eat every word. She's very good on the camera, and she just seems like she's probably a pretty just a good mechanic in general. Like, now I'm not saying girl, guy, just good mechanic. And I was like, wow, like, I'm impressed. Tired? Right on. So she ended up fixing the 460 in the video, and she was gonna start the saw, and I'm like, oh, no way, she's starting this saw. She's a little chick. Like, she put it down, she put her foot into it, and I'm like, okay. She pulled it up, top dead over center. This is where Steve learned how to start a chainsaw. I'm telling you, metal and wood, this is where he learned how to start a chainsaw. It's just he realized he couldn't reach over and touch his toes to put his foot on it, and you almost have to be able to reach over and touch your toes to be able to do it that way. Um, yeah, what Ground Pounder said, if you don't mind, there's a thumb button somewhere, or there's thumb down. You can hit that too. I don't. It's up to you. But yeah, I'm like, huh? She's she's not. There's no way, and she gets the saw started, and I'm like, wow, that was impressive. I'm. I hit subscribe and was like, well, maybe I'll talk about her stuff throughout the weeks. So go check out her channel. She's she's very insightful. Like she's very like to the point too. So if you're looking for a channel to learn how to fix little things about your chainsaw, I feel like she's good, man. So go check her out. That's Chickanic. So next, I was like, Ground Pounder. No, absolutely not. She's got a video on premixed gas. Not good to use. Oh, okay. Yeah, that may be the one. I agree though that like premix stuff, that Moto mix, trash. Don't ever use it. Like I got a bad batch of it. And it shut down all my saws. So um next was Fab's Acres. I'm like I need to know what's going on with this chainsaw charity stuff going on. And so the argument originally was what happened was Steve from Metal and Wood stirred up some drama. Steve loves drama. You can tell it. He likes stirring things up. He's got those baggy yes boots. Look at it, dude. Richard Flagg runs a good channel. Is that the other guy, Richard? Okay, he's in Tennessee. I've seen watching him for a while. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check Richard's channel out. That way I can know both sides of this. But I'm calling BS. I don't even know Richard's side. But I'm sorry, Fabs. I call BS, dude. So what happened, from my understanding, is Richard issued a challenge to Fabs, and this all stirred up because Steve kind of stirred it up with him. Fabs put out a video cutting some wood, and Steve stirred it up with a comment with Richard somehow being like, Fabs' chainsaw's faster than yours. Well, I've watched some of Fab's videos, and he speeds them up. I know editing, and I know that he's speeding them up. He may not be speeding them up a whole bunch, but you can't change the tone and hum of the chainsaw. I know chainsaw's too good and editing too good that I'm like, no, that doesn't work, man. So I think Richard told him, okay, well, if he's so good, let's race chainsaws. He offered to Steve to let them come down. Nobody's going to be mean. If Steve wants to be part of all this, I think his best move would be to go over there and like befriend them. He wants to sell chainsaws. This is the chainsaw like gathering. So I think this is like at Paul Bunyan Fest or something. They offered him out and told him to come check it out. You know, we'll race some chainsaws while you're here. And here's the thing. I'm gonna kind of catch up on a couple comments and I'll go from there. For sure has nothing to do with mechanic as far as I. Yeah, I wasn't saying that. I'm saying Richard and Fabs, I thought were arguing. So, okay. Yeah, the comments got me off. Just, that just made me more confused. So, this Richard guy from this forum says, hey, come to Paul Bunyan Fest. We'll race the chainsaws there. Well, Fabs is like always talking about punching people in the nose or in the mouth, and he's always so aggressive, and you know, talks about like put him up, put him up. Like he's a very aggressive, angry feller. It seems like maybe I don't really know. Randy Evans. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think that's right. I think you're right there. It's Randy. Okay, so I thought it was Randy Flagg. That's why I was gonna go check that channel out. My bad. Like so, we got all mixed up. John Bob's got us though. So it's Randy Evans who runs this forum. That this all started because someone on there put a comment that says that they think Steve is a shyster. He's ripping people off, scammer, whatever. And Steve has held a grudge about that, and he's going to sue everybody over that. And he's apparently really going to make all these people go to court and waste all this money and time and stuff. I don't really like it. Mastermind work, Saws, OPE. Oh, is that his channel? Like an old school 89 WW. What did you say there? Right on. So, let's see. Fabs, always talking about he's going to punch everybody. He's not scared of nobody. Gets offered to come down there. I don't understand why he does it. I don't think he wants to have like really get along with anybody like permanently. He just has his little phases to where he's like befriends somebody and then he's not friends with them and then he likes them and then he doesn't like you. He's very wishy-washy, it seems like, because like I don't know. I feel like I got along with him really good when I was doing my channel for a while. And then he started to just get rude and maybe I said something that he didn't agree with and he just like flipped a switch. And then I've watched him go over to Steve's channel and then just how he is about stirring stuff up. I was watching him stir stuff up. He would go over and tell Steve what other people were saying to get Steve worked up. And I don't know if that worked in his benefit and now Steve's giving him chainsaws or something because he did just get a chainsaw from Steve and then he let everybody know Steve's sending me another chainsaw. So I think the comment that Fabs is mad about and Steve is also mad about is they said that they were homosexuals, I guess, is what this is all alleged. Like, this is from what I know and I've heard, I think they were calling them to homosexuals. Now, I think Steve maybe has been getting this from multiple angles, literally and physically, because people say that same thing about Steve and Injawa. Like, it's I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So Fabs decides he wants to. Well, he has the offer to go to Paul Bunyan Fest. This is where they can race these chainsaws. Then Fabs says, I think he said, I'll put $1,000 down that my saw will beat anyone's, and or will beat Randy's, I guess. And so they said, okay. And he said, we'll donate it to charity. So that's the coolest thing I've heard. You're the man for that. Like, I think that's sick. Do your thing. Donate some money to charity. There's nothing that can go wrong here. So Randy didn't ask Fabs, come to my house. You got to come to my house and we can race chainsaws here so we can do it. You know, I think Fabs is the one saying his stuff's better. Or Steve was saying it for Fabs. That's what it was. Steve was basically starting it up for Fabs. Steve told Randy maybe you need to restart or sharpen your chain better or this or that. Because Fabs is running way better. I don't know. It's like teenage girl stuff. Some of it. So Fabs has this offer to go there, And he now turns that down. And he's moved the goalpost and says that Randy is scared. Okay, know this. I don't even know Randy's side. I don't know Randy's side at all. I'm just going off what I see from Fabs. And he's not doing that. He says, he wants them to drive to some random place in New York. Like just a random spot. Not a gathering, a chainsaw gathering, where there's going to be a lot of people with chainsaws. Tons of people. That's what you're doing. No, Fab says you got to come, fly out, drive all this to go to a random person's house. But you got to come to New York. And that's what you do. Okay, like I've heard this from like promoters when they do fighting, or boxing or MMA, whatever it may be. This person could get an offer and say that they want to fight this person. But if you purposely price yourself out of it so that you don't have to, that's the same as not wanting to. So what Fabs initially, in my opinion, has done is he's moved the goalpost so far away now that I feel like you lose instantly. I think you should just donate the money that you're saying. Go ahead and just donate it. Because the offer of come to a chainsaw gathering to do this race is beyond fair. That's neutral ground. Now, if you've spent all your time pissing the rest of the chainsaw world off and you're scared to go out there, that is what it is. Like, some people don't like crowds. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe you just don't want to be around people. I don't know what it is. But to say that his offer of come to the chainsaw gathering, Paul Bunyan Fest, it's not the Randy Evans Fest. So why you can't come there is unreal to me. Like, that just, you wanted to do this. You said you're the man. You say 99.999%, you're 100, almost 100% for sure. You're just going to smoke him. So just go do it, dude. Go do it. This stuff, ticket. Instantly. Put your hands behind your back. Go spend a couple nights in jail. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, that's lame. So, I'll go check out Randy Evans' channel. But I feel like the only thing that's going to happen if I go check out Randy's channel is I'm going to disagree more with Fabs than I already do. So, one for Aaron, one of yours, and mine. Let's see. What's hilarious is there is no racing at Bunyan. Really? No, you don't have to like physically race. You could just do stopwatches on cuts. Like, do a stopwatch on a cut. I don't know if that's also racing, so you can't do that either, but Babs don't have shit. Yeah. What was he? William don't like him? My soul's way faster than anything he's got. Yeah! I dig that. OG Turtle Power. Yeah. I've been invited. I might go next year if you all are going to. I don't know. Where's it at? John Bob. That's a stand-up fella right there, to be straight up with you. So it's I believe what John Bob just did right there, being straight up and being honest, that's why I enjoy our community. I feel like we've built a group to where we all respect each other, and I don't see yet a mole that's sitting in the background looking to mess stuff up for people or take advantage of people. I've yet to find them. They come, they try to get their way in. Usually, like there's always kind of one, but I don't see it here. So John Bob says, "Hey, I'm backed up too much. I can't really do the work, on the chainsaw. But I can give you." He gives you a suggestion, tells you somewhere with somebody who's very good apparently, and has a way better turnaround rate right now than he does. That stuff's awesome. See, Steve is now from Metal and Wood. He has recently been saying that people are just mean to Harvey. Iron Horse is the YouTube channel I'm talking about. So apparently Iron Horse had a bunch of people's chainsaws, was backed up for a long time. Maybe his health got bad, and he just, isn't able to do maybe what he thought he could do, and made a lot of people angry, and kind of ruined his name when it comes to, with some, I guess. I don't really know for sure. This is just my understanding of the situation. My opinion on it. So he made a lot of people angry. He had their saws for a long time. But I mean, I don't know if he did anybody so wrong that they never got their saw back or anything like that. I think he's a good old boy at heart, but he has boasted himself up, even in his own mind, to the point that he was overwhelmed at the time. A little bit, or maybe it was just a random health scare. It could have just been that something happened health wise that just threw a wrench into it and he couldn't do it. But Steve instantly wants people to relate to, like, that he can relate to so much. He instantly says Harvey didn't do nothing. You guys are just trying to cancel him like you are me. Which is, let's both play the victim. Like, I'm so sick of people playing the victim role. Like, come on, man. Sympathy for what? I told people I'm slow. It's awesome, John Bob. At least you're just honest, brother. There's nothing wrong or bad about that. That's all good. Skunk 261. Right on. 261's the waters. Wait, John. Okay. All right. So, this was cool. So a new channel to check out. This guy did a chainsaw review, and I liked his review. It kept popping up in my feed, and it just came out. And the channel is called Saws on the Farm. So I don't know if he just does chainsaws and does farming stuff. I don't really know what the channel's about. I watched the one video. It was doing very good because the video was titled 72cc chainsaw under $200. So have you guys seen that thumbnail? It looks like a Husqvarna 372, and it says, what does it say? So, okay, 76cc chainsaw for under $200. Yeah, ground pound. So, I watched the video because we talk about Steve and his chainsaws and how I think everything he does, I actually don't care about anything he does. But I personally wouldn't feel good about charging so much or I wouldn't feel good about making so much money on each chainsaw he sells. That's my opinion. Profit wise. What you're paying for it, for what you're selling it, I don't agree with you there. I think you're wrong for that. Because what he says is he's went over there and he's got the factory to change all these parts that are bad in these things. and they now make them with all quality parts. They come to you shipped, ready to go, and they're quality. So, if that's true, why, like, if that's what the factory, all they did was switch their parts, I'm sure it didn't increase your price all that much from what it originally was. Why the markup? Like, I understand making, oh, I don't know. Maybe he's looking to retire. I just personally, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't feel like I'm offering enough or doing enough to this product to turn around and get rid of it for a premium, such a high premium. So I'm kind of trying to make sure I word it right. But this is my opinion on the whole thing. So Saul's on the Farm puts out this video. He opens up a box, and what he has inside is a 372 Husqvarna clone saw. So he has a clone saw. Steve has cheap, junky Chinese chainsaws. So there's a difference. Like, he has it. They look the exact same to a T. They look the exact same. But this guy bought a clone chainsaw, and Steve's are cheap, junky Chinese clown chainsaws or something like that. He says it all the time. He tells you what it is. So I think I've seen in posts where in his comment section where I think maybe he's selling them for like 600, 650. I don't really know. Somewhere around there. So it's like a 300% markup that he's getting on them because this guy paid under 200 for the same saw. They look the exact same. This one was from, they took the word Husqvarna. They took the U out. Did they? No, they switched it over here. They took a letter out, and then they took all of the letters and they mixed them up. And it's just like, it's literally spelled HNSAVRQA or QUA. Hinsevqua is what it was called. So, okay. So I'm watching him. He cracks this box open. The saw looks like I thought it would look. Looks like a clone of a 372 Husqvarna. I get to looking, and my phone, I turned it a little sideways because you turn your phone and it takes a video from up here real little, and you turn it sideways and you get a full screen. So I had it full screen, and at one point I turned it or something, and I was looking, and when I looked back over, my phone had turned, and I had the comment section there. And you will not believe this guy's video, the video I'm talking about from Saul's on the Farm. It's only been out a few days, and I see Metal and Wood left a comment, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like, and then I instantly like, why would he leave a comment? Oh my, because you know that this video had Steve squirming, because every time someone puts out a video where they buy a very, 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 very almost duplicate version of his chainsaw and they put the real price on it, it's got to make it a little harder for him to justify charging what he charges. Or maybe he sleeps good at night. I'm just looking at it, if I was in his position, how I would feel. So this guy, has this. I see Steve's comment, and his comment instantly, he is like, you could tell maybe nervous about it and hoping that someone doesn't call him out, because you gotta know how he feels. He's saying, it only costs, or it costs this much, and every time he sees one of the videos, it's gotta make him be like, oh my god, oh no. So Steve says it's gonna run fine, because this guy was wondering, he's like, I don't know how it's going to run, though. It looks good, but how's it going to run? And the way they spelled Husqvarna is just funny. So I see Steve's comment, and he just needs to show his superiority. He's insecure, very, very, very deeply insecure, especially in the chainsaw world. Uh, he says it's going to run fine. Order an unlimited ignition coil and a momentary switch from Husqvarna. That will be the only thing you must have. See if your carb gives you enough power or gives you full power. So I don't know what the last part of it even what he means. I can't always translate. I'm half dumb, but so like I get a good portion of it, but I don't know. So I'm like, okay, well now I'm curious, is this gonna run for this guy? So he cracks that saw off before the video's over with at the end. If you want to watch his video, go watch it. It's a really good review. I think the guy's pretty good in front of the camera, and just it was a good video. Just if he ever sees this, like I enjoyed it. It was a very good video. So he adjusted the carb. I think he ended up having to give the low and the high jet about a quarter turn to turn them up. And I think what happens is those factories want them saws turned down so much because it's, maybe not the quality of the parts isn't as high. So if they can minimize and like eliminate a little bit of torque, a little bit of power, a little bit of airflow, then those not as quality parts maybe hold up longer. So they tune them saws down very low to the point that this guy couldn't get it started even though he was putting gas into the car. So he did adjust it out, and before he had that thing done, he shows a video, and that saw was screaming. It was screaming. I'm just being honest. I've seen a billion videos of Metal and Woods 372s and them running. And none of them responded the way that this guy's did. It responded completely different. It has all the snap and torque and like trigger response. The throttle response in it was dead on, like the way it should be. Steve seemed very delayed at times, like almost held back, and it could be the very rich mix he uses. I don't really know, but this guy didn't have to order none of those parts that Steve says you got to order. And his ran, in my opinion, better than any of them I've ever seen from Steve. So, if you've left a comment and I've missed it, my bad. Say it again. So, yeah, that was it on that guy. But go check his channel out. The channel is called Saws on the Farm. And it was, like I said, it's a really good video. After he adjusted the carb out, man, that saw screamed. It ran and seemed like it was running on full power. It had everything that I feel like a saw that size, a 76cc saw, should do. And I seen Fabs. He's put a pipe. I don't know what he calls his pipes, a rowdy pipe or something like that. He put a pipe on one. Steve sent him a chainsaw because I don't know why. I was gonna make something up, but just because he sent him a chainsaw, and he adjusted that saw out, and it still sounds restricted. It doesn't sound like it's running full power. It just doesn't. He's adjusted it. I don't know if he's ported it. I don't know what all he's done. Maybe he's just put the pipe on it. But it sounds very restricted. It doesn't have the throttle response and the top end that I hear in these other saws. I don't know what that is. It could be So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I did. But go check out Saul's on the farm. His chainsaw also had very flimsy dogs, but his weren't bent. So it may be a better quality than Steve's even. I don't know. So, but you could check out the chainsaw. What did I say? How do you spell that? You spell it HNSAVRQUA, and it's a 372 clone, so 76cc saw. So go check it out. You can get it for less than $200 on eBay. So next, okay, we got to get into some turtle business. So when Steve seen those, he was squirming. Mike, are we going to? I got one going together. Like 660 or 395, 660. So the video is doing good from this guy. His channel's not all that big yet. It's pretty good size, but it's not cracked that top, like took off yet. But I think he's very good. I think his channel definitely could take off with the right video that gets the right attention. The guy's very good. So you could check his channel out. Did a really good, fun review. I enjoyed it. So John says I already know his answer. I don't remember the number, but it was powerful enough for whatever. Mike is partial to steel 395. Got more ass. You knock it off, William. You spread that propaganda here. Billy was here. I'd have had him put you in timeout or something for that. I'm just kidding. I'll commit to a skunky right on. I'm not saying I wouldn't use it, but if I had my choice, a 660, do I want a 661? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I say I don't want the new stuff, but then when I do use some of it that's had the right parts modified and stuff, yeah, they're nice. So, yeah, metal and wood. What is this guy doing? Did anybody else see that this SOB did a DHNS and showed his fat belly? And I did not like it at all. I thought I've made myself incredibly clear that I want him to stop doing videos from the angle of his gooch. I don't like it. There's no reason for you to always have your camera between your legs. And I'm just not. I don't want to see it no more. I'm trying to watch like videos, and all of a sudden, like I look back, and I'm looking up from the ground from between this Yahoo's legs, and I don't like it. But this week, him and Ajawa, we're together doing a couples project, and they are building a chainsaw porting table. So they've been working on that, and Steve's trying to get you all to buy his Makita knockoff tools he's got. He bought a pallet of these tools, and so now he's trying to get you all and anybody to believe that these are better than Makita. I think he's just going to do this with any project or product until one of them finally super takes off for him. And just chainsaws are that right now. I don't know. If he's that worried about putting a quality chainsaw in everybody's hands, he wouldn't worry so much about these Makitas and all this other stuff. But they're building a chainsaw bench so that they can show you guys and the rest of the world how to actually port chainsaws. I don't know if you guys know this, and this includes everyone that will be at Paul Bunyan Fest. Um, you guys just don't know how to port stuff. Um, and this is Steve saying this. And you know what? My wife does the same thing. She thinks like I am the best tree climber that walks the face of God's green earth. That no other tree climber could touch me. And she'll say it too. Like, so maybe that's what's going on there. He's just taking up for Injawa. But Steve can't build nothing. He's just not a builder. Like, so he's showing his expertise because his channel's called Metal and Wood, and so he's doing the part of it, the wood part, and he started talking about like having the wood in his throat in the last video I just watched, and he's asking Injawa, "Do you get that too?" And he's like, "Yeah, sometimes." So he's supposed to drink some water or something. I don't know if you've seen that video, but I'm giving cliff notes of the videos. So he starts out, the one that I'm seeing, he didn't really put too much content out this week, but the first thing I see this on today, because I'll start my notes, like I'll have notes in the back of my head all throughout the week, and I'll think of stuff, but I don't write it down. I probably should, that way I'm not stressing so much before this. But the first thing I see is the newest video, and it is the idea and goal behind the project. And this video is in exact response of the guy's video coming out that shows the actual price of a chainsaw. That is almost a duplicate, if not an exact duplicate, of the one Steve is trying to sell people, minus the big bore. So I think Steve's saw maybe 76.6 or something, and the other chainsaw is a 72cc. So maybe you get a few more cc's technically with Steve's, but you are also, I think, paying at least 3 times the amount. So you can do your own math if that works out for you. Go with Steve. If not, I gave you the info for the other chainsaw just before this, but he puts his video out and he needs to explain to the world, and he doesn't acknowledge why he's doing this. And I know why he's doing this. I'm a pretty good read of people. He's doing this because of that. He's worried a bunch of people seen that video, and he's gonna catch a little hell for a dude just put a video out showing almost the exact same chainsaw as what you got, and he said it only costs less than $200. And Steve puts the video out and says he needs to let everybody know what the idea and goal behind this project. And the project was, he wanted to put the best quality cheap junky Chinese clown saw in your hand. And so he's trying to explain to you why his price is excessive in comparison. He says he has he says with the other chainsaws, here's the funny part. He does this thing where he misquotes things so that he can get his agenda across. And what he does is he takes people's comments that he sees or videos that he sees, he misquotes them, and knows that other people they're not going to put that kind of stuff together. But whatever. I mean, I feel like it's a skeezy, sleazy kind of way to do things. But he says, YouTube and everyone on YouTube knows that when you buy a Chinese replica saw, you got to put $300 to $500 into them, which is crazy to me. What? They're only paying less than $200 for the saw. You think they're putting 500 parts in it? What? But this is what Steve. This ain't even Steve's. Steve said this is what people think. So he's seen people talk about this. He's just relaying a message, which is BS. I don't believe he's seen anybody say that. I think that's all just a mess, in my opinion. That's him trying to get an agenda across. But he says instead of spending $300 to $500, that you could just buy a chainsaw from him, because what he's done is go over and upgrade all those parts that you would have to do when you get a replica chainsaw. You would have to buy $300 to $500 worth of parts. Well, instead, Steve has went over there and already bought the parts for you. This is basically the picture he's painting. He's already bought the $300 to $500 parts for you and is having them put on the chainsaws. So, what's up, Lone Wolf? How we doing, brother? He's put them on the saws already. So that's why you're paying so much from him. This is his way of justifying, why his costs so much more than this other one over here. And I don't agree with that. I think that's lame. I think it's a weird coincidence that if you add $300 to $500 to the actual price of, the guy put the video out, said under $200. So let's say $200. Now, if you add $300 to $500 to $200, you magically get the ballpark of what Steve's chainsaws cost. Isn't that weird? It's weird that somebody would put that together, huh? So I start to notice that, and I'm like, that's weird. He's squirming, though. He's worried about people seeing that video and not buying his chainsaws. So that's where he's good at. He sits there and he stews and he thinks, they're going to wonder why my chainsaws cost $300 to $500 more. So what I'll do is I'll get on YouTube, make a video where I say people have to put $300 to $500 in these saws when they get them. Always. There, instantly. No one can come at him because, look, you got to put that into it. No, you don't. I just told you, I watched a video of a man pull one out of a bag that was inside of a box that had Husqvarna spelt the most jacked up, goofball, harebrained way you ever could. It had the exact same stickers in the exact same places as Steve saws. They just didn't say Promac. He got that saw fired up and had it screaming, in my opinion, better than any Promac saw I've ever heard run. So, I think maybe it's just a weird coincidence that all that just added up. Or maybe not. You tell me. So, he's now telling people that he is working on a better carb. A customization is what he's doing. Y'all know about the customization? Hey, check out this old Hardy's coffee cup I have. It's got the little weird bottom thing. It's just been set to this. It's got dirt all up underneath. I must have took it to work one day and then never used it again. That's crazy. Yeah, I know I had that. It used to have a little holder that sat on my dash, and I could put my coffee cup in. It wouldn't fly all over the place when I went around corners. That's why it's got that little bottom piece on it. I remember that. They need to do that again. Do you see this little lip? You would slide that into like a little holder, and it would hold it into place. All right. Okay, so after he figures out this customization that you guys don't even know about customization. I don't even know why I'm talking to you guys. Steve is on another level, so I wouldn't expect you to understand, but he's working on a customization. He says he has a personal saw that he put a 395 carb on. He said that he put a 395 carb on. That is bullshit. He is basically the chainsaw whisperer. Um, but I don't. You can't say that, Steve. You. Everyone knows that you don't know how to work on chainsaws. You didn't put a 395 carb on nothing. And that's why people think you have a closer relationship with Jawa than you actually do. Because you take a credit for a lot of the things he does. Kind of like how my wife would take credit for things that I do. You know, I do a lot of things and she takes credit for it. So be it. Maybe they have that agreement. Maybe Jawa does not care that Steve is always taking his credit and saying he did it. So it's just something I seen, thought I would point out, give my opinion on. So he says that he's doing this customization, yeah, and he's making it a better carb. So what happens is I see a comment below, and the guy says, "Hey Steve, I just got my notification for my two chainsaws I bought from you, the 372s. It says that they're on their way. I was wondering if my saw has this new carburetor already on it that you're getting, or are you going to mail it to me?" Gangster move by this guy. He sees Steve basically is telling you right now that his saw isn't that great. It's got a carb issue, and that may explain exactly why you're not getting all the power out of that chainsaw. And every time I hear it, I can tell that you're not getting all the power out of that chainsaw. I don't care what anybody says. This is my opinion. It doesn't have full power. Just, it's obvious to me. Um, so this guy says, you're going to send it to me, or is it already on it? The reason this guy says this is because Steve basically made it clear. These saws have inferior carbs on them. I am working on a proper carb that works better and will make the saw a more quality product. So this gentleman wants to know, are you going to send them carbs to me when you get that figured out, or is it already on it? Because I just bought two chainsaws from you, and you're turning around and saying you're going to tell me here in a week or two when you get these that these are better saws now than they ever were before. And that makes this dude be like, well, I ended up with a chainsaw. This is weird. So Steve has to answer this because this guy just bought saws from him. And he says, your saw's carb works just fine. If you ever have a problem with it, let me know. Call me. And I'm like, huh. I didn't see if this guy had commented back. We'll see what kind of goes on there. I just thought, what a gangster move by this guy. If you're telling the people now that, hey, yeah, this saw is okay, but I'm about to make it an actual good saw with this carburetor customization that you're doing, then send this guy the customization when you get it done. But he does not offer to do that. What he said is, your carb's fine, and if you have any trouble with it, let me know. If I need to switch it out later, I can. And maybe that's what he means. Maybe if that one goes bad on you, let me know. We'll get it back. We'll put a 395 carb into it and be good. Maybe Steve means that. I don't know. I don't really know. So, oh, yeah, by the way, you got to either hit the thumb up or down or give me a bunch of money. It's just kind of the rules here. So pick one. I don't care. Money. Yeah. So next, um, I can't watch the videos on that channel that Injawa does. I just can't. I can't. It legit seems like I think he recorded it from like a tuna can or something. I don't know what kind of phone he's got. He's got one of those like I wouldn't even say it's a razor. It's probably one of them old flip phones that you got to hit the button 3 times to get one letter. Like Steve, this dude does so much for you. Buy him a damn phone so he can make videos that you're making money on. And what's going on here? He legit, I feel like he recorded that damn thing from a wind up radio. That's how bad it looks. And I'm like, I can't do this. So I never watch the videos from Injawa. It's just I can't do it. But I do I do think it's really weird that Steve's been doing this for like a couple years now, and that guy is still Injawa. I gotta be specific. Injawa is still so embarrassed of something that he is still refusing to put his face on camera. Um, I think it's strange. So why? Why does he why does he not show his face? You know, you're the guy that's behind all the quality of how this chainsaw runs. Steve and you as a pair, a partner, a relationship, as a couple, you guys are responsible for making these saws quality. This is what I'm being told. Um, so like buy the guy a damn phone and show like he needs to show his face. Like be proud of what you're doing. Unless there's a reason that you shouldn't be proud of. You know, I'm not saying the guy should be sitting there doing like interviews in front of the camera face to face nonstop. I'm just saying at some point it's okay to show his face. I don't have to see like his belly and just his hands. Like that's weird. That's weird. And he specifically does not want to be shown on camera. I've seen him a couple times. I know what he looks like. I watch enough of the videos that I've seen the couple times where Steve messed up and showed him. So I actually knew his real name at one point too, because Steve said it, but I didn't care enough to remember that. Um, so okay, so when Jawa does all the work, Steve takes all the credit. Um, I just I just don't understand that one. And then I seen that Steve absolutely learned how to start a chainsaw from Chickanic. I swear he did. He does that same technique where he calls it get it top dead over center, where you pull up on the rope and you get that piston to the top dead over center. I don't know why he says that every time, but that's just what he says. And then it starts a little easier because he's blowed his elbow out because he's been blowing this, blowing that. Like I don't know what. He's weird. He's and then he sticks it in between his legs onto um his mangina. I'm trying to that would be yeah, because I mean he sticks it in there deep. I would think if you have like boy parts, you're hurting yourself, but he sticks it in there real deep the handle, and that's where I have more respect, even an extra little bit of respect for Chickanic that we talked about earlier. She didn't do that. Why is he doing it? Like it seems I've never seen a chainsaw started in a more feminine way than how he does it. And I never understood where he got that little top dead over center. And then I seen her in a video and that's what she was doing. And I'm like, oh, homeboy learned how to start a chainsaw from that, from her, from a girl. That's exactly how you, because there's some of the steps he takes are unnecessary for a man. And just in my opinion. Just, just, just my opinion. Um, so there's nothing wrong with that though. I'm sure I'm going to learn a few things from Chicanic because I subscribed. I'm going to start watching her videos. So we'll see. But yeah, I finally figured out who taught Steve how to start a chainsaw. So he put his own twist on it by shoving it deep between his legs. But yeah, other than that, I feel like I figured it out. So Steve in one of his videos says Doug Philbeck is still making fun of him and Injawa. And I'm like, well, why? What do you care for, dude? Like, what are you watching that guy? If you don't like him that much, why are you always watching him? Like, so what if he makes fun of you guys? People are allowed to have their own opinion. If you put something on YouTube, people can have an opinion about it. You put it up as entertainment so people can have an opinion about it. That's the way that works. You gotta get over this. I'm gonna sue you, sue you, sue you, sue you, sue you. That makes you lame as hell. That's the most like feminine, weak. Just whoa. There's so many like I don't like it. I'm just saying I don't like it. So stop watching Doug if you don't want to hear you get made fun of. Like Doug does not respect the way you do things. He has a different opinion. He's a good old boy. That's the way that works, man. It's not just because like I guarantee you I would not agree with everything Doug does. And I think when I say Doug, I mean I think it's called Indiana Doug is his channel. But that's where all this started. Steve is going to sue them. He has this massive lawsuit where he's going to put a bunch of people in court and take money off their tables, all because they said things that hurt his feelings. Bottom line, they said things that hurt his feelings. It hurt his feelings. I mean, you ever had your feelings hurt? You know, he's got a lot of feelings. Maybe feelings that you guys don't have. But he got his feelings hurt. So you're gonna have to get sued and lose money and time and brain power and like I don't understand what he thinks he's gonna get from this. Like if he's trying to get money out of these people, yeah, that's got to be what it is because he's saying that they're stopping him from being able to earn a living, to make a living. Dude, you're just reselling stuff. You're a reseller. That's it. You're not a dealership. You're not a I don't even know. He tries to call himself so many silly. You resell shit. You're the same as the people at the flea markets. That's it. You're reselling shit. Like you bought something and you're reselling it. It is what it is, dude. Just because you're reselling new products doesn't make you not a reseller. So stop. You're not. You you just don't need to think so fond of yourself, and then you would get through YouTube at least without so much flack from everybody. But you think that no one can disagree with you, and if they do disagree with you, they're not allowed to voice it. Well, you know what? I've watched you for what seems like a couple years now. Give your opinion about how you dislike certain things, dislike certain people, dislike certain products, and that's all they've done to you. But you're threatening to sue them. So whatever, dude. I think you're lame. So he said that they're making fun of him because they're teaming up on these saws. Um, yeah, that's just him stating facts, man. If you feel ashamed of that, that's on you. So Steve says that he won't be effing around with them when he gets served with his court papers. So Then Steve also, for some reason, is always making like sex innuendos to Njawa. I don't even know what this one was. Oh yeah, like something about put the tip in, I'll put the whole thing. Dirty old man talk. And he wonders, dude, it's you and another dude who doesn't want to be shown on camera. So, like, having weird little dirty talk in the videos is just gross. Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop showing videos from between your legs. I don't want to see the bottom of your belly. I don't want to see anywhere near your crotch. Like, you don't even see it. So what the hell I gotta be looking at it for? Like, tell me. I think, okay. He's probably doing the videos so you can watch them back and actually, okay, you know what? Makes sense. Makes sense. It's kind of like when you put a mirror on the ground. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna get into it all the way. Um, but yeah, he's gonna sue you. So yeah, you gotta stop doing this weird, yeah, weird sexual innuendos. He told Njawa he has a beautiful nut. Dude, what are you doing? Stop it. It's gross. And you make sexual innuendos to another man. Then there's comments left about you being a homosexual. You become very angry because someone called you, questioned your sexuality. They're questioning it because of shit like this, dude. Stop doing it. Stop doing this stuff. Like, stop doing it. You don't have to do this stuff. This is all stuff you do to yourself. So, then in the next video, Steve's got this 038. He's had this damn saw forever. Can't get it to run. Has never got it to start. Has made 16 videos saying this is how you start an 038 original steel. And he puts the video out and never starts the saw in the video, which is hilarious. Like, I think it's funny. Do more. But I don't know, man. I think you should maybe just stop. So they say, we're gonna get this saw running today. And then Java does all the work, gets the switches out the carb on this saw, does a couple other things, then tries to start it. Steve tries to start it. Once again, the third, what am I saying, third? The 17th video of him saying he's going to start a 038. This one's a full-length video, though. And it ends with him not starting the damn thing. So then the next video starts, and I'm watching it, and he says, "Oh, and Jawa, we figured it out, didn't we? That dang old gas line in there just broke. It just rotted off, didn't it? It rotted off." And Jawa's like, "Yeah, it rotted off, Steve." And he's like, he's like, I would feel like a muppet because Steve's like, "What did you say? Say what you said again." That's what you do to your kid when they do something cute. You're like, "Oh shit, man! I wish I was recording." So you get your phone. You're like, "Hey, do that again. Do it again. Do it in the camera." Oh yeah. So that's what he does to Njao. He treats him like that. I wouldn't like that if I was that guy, but he can do whatever he wants. He's his own man. So they try to start this saw. Turns out that the gas line inside the tank was rotted and it wasn't getting gas. And Jawa switches that out. And Steve says he does this every time. And Jawa does all the work. And Steve's like, "Hey, you want me to choke that thing, chokerize that thing out?" And Jawa's like, yeah, man. Dude, you're rude as hell. He just did all the damn work, and you're like, "Want me to chokerize her out?" Like, tell me you're a Monday morning quarterback without telling me you're a Monday morning. You're the dude who, like, I don't know, dude. Ugh. You don't do shit, but you want all the damn credit. You want to do all the glory and all the fun. Come on, dude. So he says, let me chokerize that thing. He's got a weird way of saying everything. Let me chokerize that thing for you. And he's like, "You want me to do that for you, Jawa?" And he's like, yeah, I guess. Fucking didn't work the first time we did this. We embarrassed ourselves. But yeah, at least my face ain't on camera. Yeah, go ahead, Steve. Yeah, you do your thing, man. So Steve gets it again. And for the 18th time, then start the damn saw again. So they paused the video this time. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can't say it's number 18 because like he may get it started. It's gonna click back on, and Steve's gonna start this thing. I know it. Or it's gonna be started. And it clicks back on, chainsaw's not started. And I'm like, whoa, okay, cool. He's gonna and Jawa comes in like if you just like how your wife would want. When something's going wrong and her man comes rolling in and saves the day, that's what he did. He says, let me start this. Fires that saw right up, got it running fine. Steve starts the video out saying, oh, so what you're saying is I had it flooded? Oh, okay. Steve, you're a master of chainsaws. You sell them, you customization them. Like, dude, why do you need someone to start it for you? Like, you don't need people to start it for you. You should be able to start it yourself. But apparently Steve's clientele is unreal. He's selling chainsaws to Santa Claus. This is what or Santa Claus. I just figured he just doesn't pronounce it right. But he said Santa Claus called him and said he needed a 372 with bent dogs. Like he didn't say the bent dogs, but it had bent dogs on it, dude. Every time he shows one of them saws, there's a part bent on it. Like, and it's always those dogs. I feel like they're made out of like just heavy duty aluminum foil. Like they've been really easy. And he's like, yeah, I may have to beat that one back in. Or he's got supposedly got all kinds of these dogs, and a guy wants to buy it. Santa Claus wants to buy it. I mean, come on, you're selling us all to Santa Claus? You should definitely make. So I'm like, he's gonna switch them dogs. I'd probably put some of them brand new shiny ones on there. I think he's got some chrome ones now. Oh, he's gonna put them on there. No, nope. Like, it's Christmas time, and you don't even have no like holiday spirit enough to send Santa Claus a chainsaw that's got straight dogs on it? Nope. 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 That's lame. That's lame. I'm done talking about that turtle head. So, just 17 tickets. JLM Tree Service is another smaller YouTube channel that puts out YouTube videos. Go check him out. He's a country boy. Does YouTube. You YouTube? Do you YouTube though? He's a tuber. He put out a video where he removed a liquid amber tree. I don't call them that. I call them sweet gum trees. But yeah, liquid amber makes you look smarter than sweet gum, but yeah. Or does it? I don't know. I don't know. But the tree he removed was previously topped, which always, and when I say topped, it's when you see a tree that someone has taken all the limbs off of it, and it just kind of looks like. Well, actually, I'll show you exactly what this one he was doing look like. And then I want to show you guys the tree I'm going to go do Tuesday. And like I said, I'm in crash out mode. I don't really care anymore. So I turned this tree down before. But when you get desperate and Christmas is here, you push the limits a little more. So I'll talk to you about that in a second. But yeah, it's when you see a tree and it looks like. You know, when it looks real good like that. And then what happens is you cut this branch off, you know, and you cut this branch off. And then you're like, I'm going to cut this branch off. And then you're like, I'm going to cut this branch and this branch. and now it looks round again. And it was really nice because I was just able to stand right here in this fork, and I didn't have to, I just cut where I could reach. So what happens usually is you had one branch there, okay? And the tree starts to want to grow back. So it throws out water sprouts to all those branches. And where you used to have, you know, one branch, you now have 15 branches, and that's how the tree ends up looking round. From a distance, you can't see what's going on in here. But at every point here, there's now rot. And the reason sometimes is because of the cut. Sometimes if you leave it flat, water can sit there, snow can sit there, it could start rot. But in my opinion, what I feel like is more likely that happens is you had one branch here. Let's just focus on this one stem. You had one branch there. Now you have 6. When those branches get fully mature, this section of the tree decides, I can't take care of all of you. As they mature, they need space, they need room, they need nutrients. So it will kill one off. So what happens is if it kills one off, no one goes up there and does anything, and that branch is dead and it falls out. There's now a hole where that branch was. Water sits in it, and then you end up, when trees are like this, they usually a lot of times end up being hollow because people don't go up. Like if you've done that, you need to have that trimmed repeatedly because it's going to have dead in it. And if the dead's left in there too long, it will leave a cavity in the tree, and then you're just setting yourself up for the tree to become hollow and just spread with more and more rot. Basically, if you top a tree, you are now introducing rot into the tree. So as long as you're okay with doing that, you're going to be all right. You could sit there and trim on it maybe once a year, and that would or maybe once every other year, and you could keep it up for a while. But eventually, the tree's going to be completely hollow. Things aren't going to grow good. Like you're introducing that into the tree, and if it's properly done, maybe it lasts longer than if it's not, but I don't know. How do I prune my American chestnut trees? I would say just like, okay, so any kind of tree, this is my recommendation. I actually have a pruning video that I could put out for you guys. That's all it is on the video, is me taking these trees and cleaning them up and like pruning them out and taking some end weight. So what I would do, John Bob, let's say, okay, what would you rather do? What are you looking to do with a tree? Do you think it needs height removed or width removed? Like, you kind of have to make your decision there. So if it was height, what I would do is I would go up in this, and I would, let's pretend like there's more forks going on here, but I would eliminate certain sections. Like there, I would, if I was trying to do as much as I could and keep it a little extreme, I may lose that limb. Mainly because you still have good structure left, and maybe I would have actually preferred to have kept that fork right there if it had like another little limb coming off of there. That's how I would have done it. And then do the same, like if you had all this stuff over here that went like this and like this, I would lose this part right here. So I would take that off. You want to try to, if you can, in theory, take it back to a limb that is 1/3 in diameter, at least. And that's just protocol basically. Same thing over here. I would probably eliminate this limb. And then on this one out here, I would probably eliminate that whole thing. So then what we're left with, let's see. We had that tree. It was pretty big there when we started, but then over on that other side, I would lose that top. So then you're left with something more streamlined, like you're looking to take some stuff out of it, you know, and weight and pruning. I prefer, like it takes me a long time because a lot of times, like I may do a section, but I always err on the side of I can always take more, but I can't put it back on. So as I'm pruning, I'm doing the minimal at all times, and then I can always take more. So that would be my bit of advice. Look to bring it back to a limb that is at least a third in diameter, and then it'll heal properly. So that's a pruning in general on any tree. So no, not so much specific to your chestnut. We're an hour and 37 in, so I do very little pruning, only regular clients, only in fall. Right on. So yeah, the tree was completely rotted out. Still looked green and stuff, but so they were removing the tree. Um, he stated in the video that this was a really good customer of theirs, and that he had the nicest yard around. Said they had worked there for many times. So I guess I'm just assuming that he's the one that butchered that tree originally, but maybe not. Like maybe it was the electric company because there was an electric line right next to it. But man, it looked bad. And as he was up in it, piecing it out, trying to get some of it down, you could really see the enormous cavities that are up there that you cannot see from the ground. But at the top of some of them cuts, it was like a bird bath in each one. So looked really, really rough. But yeah, they rigged out the wood and then spear cut all the branches to protect the yard, and then fell the log on the yard. Oh yeah, and like I said, I'm not. There's so much people that like they think if they say something that's good enough, like on YouTube, you can't. You gotta chill with this. Like it just I don't know. I find it lame. Like okay, August makes saddles. Okay, what good would it do for me? Would you guys think I'm cool if I told you I'm thinking about getting an August saddle? I'm thinking about buying me one. I can be like you guys. I'm gonna be just like you guys. When I get big, I'm gonna be like you guys. And I'm gonna be like everybody else because everybody got a monkey beaver saddle. And I feel like I'm just not part of the team. I feel like the outcast. That's weird. So in this one, he kind of did that, which was, come on, dude. He's talking about maybe switching over and buying speed cut nano chains from Guilty of Treason. I don't know if he says this stuff so that it gives him an excuse to bring these people up in his videos to let you all know that he's cool. Like, hey, I'm cool. I watch them too, yo. Like, but I don't know, man. It just, okay, that's awesome. He's thinking about buying all of his new chains and it would really fly now, but I don't know. Go check his channel out though. He's a climber. He makes YouTube videos. So that's JLM Tree Service. So check him out. Yeah, Dan, it can be a rough watch at times when you feel like you're just getting this like, what kind of character do I want people to think I am on YouTube? And yeah. I don't know. I just feel like he's just trying to do what he's seen someone else do, and cool. Like, that's his channel. I wish him all the luck in the world. Good luck. So Guilty of Treason put out 2 videos this week, and he's going to be doing that for the next few weeks, I think, maybe. Both of them were of a pine tree that was up, or maybe it was cedar. It was up on right up on the wires. Um, that stuff's always sketchy, always sketchy. And yeah, shout out to Jake for making the boss man decision, where Isaac, the kind of apprentice there, was the guy that was actually in the bucket at the time, and there was a branch that touched one of the wires. It was sitting there smoking, and it wasn't like he did anything wrong. When he took a little bit of weight off the bottom of the branch, it lifted up into the wire. So I was like, "Oh, that's sketchy. That's sketchy." But Jake made a decision. I don't have a lot of time to watch videos, dude. Then thank you so much for always being here. That's even crazier to me. Like, I would expect you to watch everything if you're willing to give me your time, but you're the man, Dan. So yeah, he made the boss man decision where, hey, Isaac, get down, I'll go ahead and do it. And respect. They ended up finishing the video, or finishing that tree up in the second video for this week. So go to Guilty of Treason. I'm sure you've already watched it, so there's really no need for me to always tell you about him. Our man Ground Pounder was doing his thing and making sure that he is still the Burger King. And my guy knocks out so many live feeds that I have trouble keeping up. But go to Ground Pounder's page. It's spelled how it sounds. And yeah, subscribe. Here's a channel that I don't know if I've ever really brought up in here, but worth checking out. The channel is called Ethan Caceres. And Ethan seems like a pretty good dude. He's just a climber. I don't know if he's a contract climber or what, but he put out a pruning video on an oak tree. So does some rope walking and stuff in the video. I think it's maybe his second time ever using a Rope Runner Pro. So you can see an experience, someone experience that device, as they get used to it. So I'm on him. So yeah, check out Ethan's channel. That's Ethan Caceres. Caceres. Ethan is Ethan. Caceres is Caceras. Well, here's one that we don't get a whole lot from, but always good. Always a good dude to see. That's JC Lawn Tree Snow. JC put out a 660 kit saw with mods video. So go over to JC's channel, check him out. Our guy J306. It's just been awesome watching Jay on his journey of fixing up this coupe. He showed some painted headers and been doing the motor work here recently. So go to Jay's channel if you love tree work, if you love like classic cars. Jay, I feel like can do everything, but he likes axes. I think he makes and sells axes. But go check Jay's channel out. It's very entertaining. Jay's a good dude. That's J306. August put out a couple videos. It's time to think outside the branch, and then taming the back leaner, balancing power and pull. So Jay is good people. John Bob, he really is. So I want to show you guys what I got that I'm gonna go try to do. Damn it, I did it too tall. So what happened is, you guys seen a video where I did just recently, I did that crazy like ivy covered tree that was on like a little hillside and stuff. It was like 2 videos back. But there was another tree in that video that was next to it, a little further down, and it's in bad shape and gnarly. Like it is. There's not a whole lot good about the tree. The tree is in such bad shape, um, and there's some bad spots in it that I really don't like. So I'll kind of try to show you what I can remember of it. But yeah, I'm going back to do it. So regardless, I'll figure something out. But I turned it down and was like, yeah, not today. Not that I can't. I didn't. I was like, I always think I can do any of it eventually if I have enough time to think about it. But like the risk on this day was, I was like, man, why didn't you pay closer attention when you were looking at it? But yeah, but like I said, Christmas gets close, and that is what it is. You just do what you got to do. So, I'm trying to figure out if I can draw this thing out, how good I can do it. But stickers kind of get in the way there. So here's what I got. So we have the house, and the tree here is the house is actually a 2 or 3 story house because it goes. This is at basement level, 3 story then. It goes out and reaches all the way to the middle of the house. It goes out much further than this. And from what I can remember, it has probably 10 foot, 8 foot of space between it and the roof. So really, really tight. And the bad part is I see in the tree, I see like right here, there's a section that goes up into that branch. And then there's another section where it almost looks like there was a top here at one point and it broke out. Let me show you. Right there. So it almost makes me feel like there was a top in this tree and it broke out because there's a bunch of dead shit right here, like a hole. And then in the tree, I see another hole right here where I can see inside the tree. So the problem is getting out here and trying to rig this shit down. It's gonna put flex into this tree where it's hollow here and I know dead here. So I'm just worried. Like normally a tree, this width, I would have no concern of what's going to happen here, but you're not causing compression. You're causing like flex. You're going to get flex that you wouldn't normally get because the tree actually goes like absolutely just parallel and just horizontal all the way across. And so it's pulling down on it so much. So as I cut the piece, it's going to put flex into this. I know that there's a hollow spot in the tree. It starts about right here, which is where that flex is going to happen the most. And that worries me a bit. Now, the limbs, like these limbs, are maybe big enough for me to be tied into. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to tie into this one, reroute a line over to this one, and then try to work my way out here. But I need to do something to help with the rigging. Got a power line under it? No, it doesn't have, it has I think it has like, there's something under it. It's like a pump or something up under it and like the windows of the house and shit. But this part, like this arc, it's much closer to the roof than I really show in this picture. So the actual thing probably goes from here, it goes up and it stays like a little closer to the roof. And it goes out. But not the best drawing of it, but you get the gist. So this piece that goes out here goes way further out than I'm showing in the picture. So I want to try maybe to anchor here, climb line, redirect here to get my way out here. But I need to do something to this to sturdy it up. Transfer rig from... There's no tree tall enough that's close enough. It won't. Like I am going to have to introduce a bit of shock load into this tree and hope that it holds is all I'm seeing. John Bob, thank you for hanging out, brother. I appreciate you. I'll see you hopefully before Christmas, but if I don't, have a Merry Christmas, you and your family. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to find a tree out in the woods back here behind it. And I have like a really long um, 3/8 10x stuff, probably 240, 250 foot of it. And I'm just going to find a tree to put that into and stick a line that goes from, maybe if I can get it to go from like here, somewhere in here, and pull back on it and anchor it back here. That maybe prevents some of that of the tree wanting to flex there. That line can give it a little backup. Or I even was thinking to try to find a tree that's maybe a little taller back here and put a rigging ring up in it. And then run my rigging rope up into that rigging ring and then over to this and set rings. So what would happen, because I've put a ring back here, as I drop the weight into it, instead of it flexing down so much, it's actually going to pull back. So I'm thinking maybe I put the Christmas, or I read your comment and said Christmas. I put a rope or a ring. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lot higher than this either. It could just be a ring like on a rope that goes anchored up to a tree over here. So I could have the bollard here. Are you seeing this? Yeah. Okay. My bad. So I could have the bollard here. The rope would go from the down here is the rope. Bollard would go, the rope would go up into the ring, then back over here to a ring here. But see, it needs to be, it's almost going to have to be back here, or I'm going to have to like hook it up and span rig it between like this point and this point so that I can get it back over here, because I don't know that we'll have anybody to run a tag line either. So we'll either have to go controlled speed line or try to rig it back to here. Maybe I do a two-step rig where I swing it down, it hangs, then I cut that lever point and then swing it back, and hopefully have like another strap there and lower it down there. So with this ring being back behind it, where the tree would flex normally, like if we took this out and we didn't put a ring there, and we did like fishing pole, so a ring, then a ring. So if we did that, the rope's going to go up, there, then there. That's still going to cause more flex, in my opinion. That's still going to cause more flex than being back here. I can change and cause compression into this log with the right like point back here. So that may be the ticket. I may do that. But yeah, it's just I'm just gonna try it out when I get there. I mean, if not, I set up 3 different tree jacks. We hold it in place with one, we pull it with another, and we guarantee as like a drift line that it can't come back at the house with the third. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna do that. That'll be that may be the first video of the new videos. So we'll see. We'll see. See how I feel. But guys, this has been episode 38, Tree Talk. I've rambled for almost 2 hours. You've got to be sick of my voice by now, because I am. It's my voice. Oh, but anybody got any plans for the rest of the week? See you, ground pounder. You the man, brother. So we get to do a lot of Christmas shopping. Oh, you know what? My wife just bought me, um, just ordered me some GoPro batteries. So more content. Oh, and another thing, and I'm gonna let you guys know that have GoPros. Maybe if you're looking for GoPro stuff, I was looking on Walmart. I had a Walmart gift card from last year's Christmas where my mother-in-law had bought me some GoPro batteries, and they were the wrong ones. I took them back. They gave me a gift card. I never used it, so I was like, "Oh no, this thing's gonna go out." So I went ahead and was like, "Oh shoot, might need to order these." So I looked. There's a company that's making batteries, and they're called Wasabi, I think, and they're like 3 times less than a GoPro battery. Like you can get like 4 of them for the price, or like 4 or 5 for the price you get 2 or 1 of the GoPro. So that's worth checking out. Um, the reason I didn't go with those batteries instead of the GoPro batteries is to charge my GoPro that I use that you guys see. You have to actually use the camera to to uh, to charge it. You have to put the battery in the camera. I've now ordered a dual charger port so I can charge them without using the camera, which in my opinion, I think it's got to be better for the camera. Like I feel like you burn cameras up if you have to use the camera to actually charge it. So, um, yeah, so stoked on that. That's gonna be a good Christmas gift. I get to go buy a whole bunch of gifts, and I love it. So, I mean, I don't like afterwards when I look and I'm like, my wall's a little hollow, but giving them is the best. And thinking about people and just, I don't know. I don't know, I'm gonna be a sob, but yeah. It's gonna be a weird Christmas for me this year, so we'll get through it. Guys, I appreciate y'all for the Turtle Man selling batteries real cheap. Yeah. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Uh, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a safe week next week. And God forbid something happens to me and you don't see me. It's been fun. Merry Christmas. But I'll be here. Stay safe, y'all.